Hey, it's Kristen from KristenOnDemand.com, and on this channel, you'll find videos all about teaching ESL online and teaching online in general. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so you don't miss a thing. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Magic Ears and how they do their standby classes. Now, the reason I'm going to be talking about this is because on my social media, I've been talking a lot about how I've been doing standby classes on their platform, and I've been getting a lot of questions about what they are and how they work. So I decided I'm going to do a video that breaks it down, how it works on their platform, what it means, to hopefully help new teachers understand it a little bit better. So here we go. Okay, so I went over standby classes in another video that I did that went over how bookings worked with Magic Ears. So you can check that video out too if you just want a small rundown on what these are. But basically what this video is going to do is kind of try to go a little bit more in depth into what these classes are, how they work, what they mean, things like that. So if you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, you're in the right place. Okay, so standby classes are a little bit tricky to explain, especially if you've been on another platform, because they're not like anything else I've ever dealt with. So on the Magic Ears platform, you are not eligible to book a standby class unless you have reached the rank of a junior. Now, with that said, I did reach out to my coaching team before I ranked up to a junior, and I did ask them if they could open up my schedule to standby classes before that, and they did. Now, that's not to say that if you reach out to your coaching team and ask them to do this for you, that they will, but I'm putting this out there to let you know that if you're a sophomore teacher and you want the ability to be able to book standby classes, if you want that ability on your schedule, ask. And you ask your coaching team and they can say yes or no. So I'm just letting you know that you have the capability to ask, and they have the capability to open up your schedule as a sophomore for standby classes. Whether or not they will grant you that capability is up to them, but you can always ask. So once you've asked, or once you've ranked up to a junior teacher, you will have the ability to book standby classes on your schedule. So how you do this, you will look at your schedule and you will see on your schedule, like it will come up and say book standby, right? It's like a light blue color. You'll click it and you can book a standby class. That means that you're available. You need to be available during that time slot to potentially teach a class during that time, right? So you've booked the class. So if you're not teaching a back-to-back class, so say your standby is the first class of the day, you need to open up your Magic Ears portal, right? Sign in, open it up, and you need to click, there's going to be a little circle button that says I'm here. You need to click that button 6 minutes before the potential class start time to let them know that you're here, you're ready, you're available to potentially teach a class, okay? If you do that, whether or not you book a class or get into a class or are needed, you will earn $5 just for being available to be a standby teacher, okay? Which is awesome, I think, just for your time, right? So then you'll see a timer in that circle that used to say I'm here. Will start to count down. I believe you are only obligated to wait for in a standby time slot for 15 or 16 minutes. A lot of teachers will stay the whole time because, a teacher could be 17-ish, 18 minutes into their class and have their internet kick out, and then they'll need a teacher to jump in. And if you only waited 15 minutes, that's all you're obligated to do. I think 15 or 16 minutes, but if it was past that time and all the teachers left, then who would jump in and take that slot? And if you did, you would still get your base pay plus that extra $2 for teaching the class. So some teachers will stay just to see if they need the help. But what will happen is you'll sit there and you'll wait, and while you're waiting, if a class becomes available that needs to be taught, a little green enter button will pop up on your screen. And these classes are first click, first serve basis, right? So you need to be fast to click it, because if another teacher sees the enter button, it'll pop up on their screen too. And if they click it before you do, the class would go to them, or could potentially go to them before it would go to you. So you have to be fast to click it in order to grab that class and book it to teach it. But if you're fast and you click it and you get it, then again, like I just said, you would earn your base pay plus $2 for booking and teaching that class as a standby teacher. So these classes have the same requirements as other classes. So you still need to have 2 props. So what I like to do is just get like a slew of props around me, things that I can use in multiple. I have to get creative sometimes with these standby classes and just use what I have around me as potential props, potential things to use. My whiteboard is my best friend a lot of times in these classes, just to get those 2 props in, especially when it's a class that I haven't prepared for, right? So there is something that Magic Ears has. If you've gone through trainings, you can request access to it. It's called the Standby Lifesaver, which is exactly as its name states. What I like to do is try to be one of the first ones, obviously, to click a class because I want a class, but also because I want to try to get into that class a little bit early so I can see what I'm teaching and reference that guide and just kind of get an idea of what level am I teaching, what are some props that I could potentially use, and where I need to be as far as pacing, just to help me out a little bit. And that guide really is a lifesaver in that way. I have it up, I can reference back and forth. If the kids are watching a little intro video, I kind of do this while I'm clicking to see where I need to be. Where the let's play slide is, things like that. So it just kind of helps me guide my pacing a little bit. So it's really awesome. But standby classes can really go, they come and go really fast on your schedule. So, but they can really help when you're not as high of a rank to fill in your schedule when you don't get, all your classes that you open booked. So what I like to do is as soon as I get done teaching a class, before I'm going to enter the next one, I'll refresh. And if there's a standby available and I know that I want to teach, that slot the following day, I'll book it right away. And I'm fine with that. You just have to get your pacing down. You have to be confident in that. I'm telling you, that standby lifesaver guide really is a lifesaver. Now, a couple important things to note as far as standby classes and pay is that you will get your base pay plus the $2. You will not get participation, the dollar participation for these classes. So it's not like you're getting your base pay plus the $2 plus the dollar participation incentive because you arrived on time for that class. No. Also, these classes will count toward your 60 peak classes that you need in a month to get the extra dollar in pay, but they will not pay you the extra dollar for standby classes either, because you're getting that $2 standby pay for these classes. So I hope that makes sense. You will only get for standby your base pay plus the $2. You're not getting the dollar participation and you're not getting the dollar peak pay incentive, even though they do help you work toward the 60 that you need in the month. Hope that makes sense. Okay, another thing to note about standbys is how they affect your OPV, which is the ranking system that Magic Ears has for their teachers. So a while back, way before probably, I was a teacher with Magic Ears. Standby classes, if the way you got rated for them, right? So if students left you 5 stars or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, whatever they left you, that used to factor into your OPV, right? How you were ranked as a teacher. Now they don't. And teachers really like this because you are essentially thrown into a class that you had no way to prepare for, no way to get ready for, unless it turns into a booked class, but that is very, very rare. So, teachers said this to Magic Ears and they took it to heart and they took it into consideration. So if you are a standby teacher and, you're thrown into these classes, you have no way to prepare for them. If you get 5 stars, that's amazing. But that's not going to factor into your OPV. If you get 1-star reviews, again, not so great, but you don't have to, again, worry about this. ruining or affecting your OPV negatively in any way, which again, teachers really, really like. And, Magic Years hopes that this will keep teachers at least coming in and stepping up and taking these classes, which allows them to have the great cancellation policy that they have. Okay, and on a personal note, I really like standby classes. I don't mind just kind of online teaching, in my opinion, in general, is just kind of the ability to adapt and go with the flow. And that's what standby teaching is. It's just kind of, here I am, I'm in the class, what are we doing? Let's just have fun and go with it. And I like it. You also get, this is a good thing to mention, you also get usually extra carrots for doing standby classes as well, which this is another thing that you need with the Magic Year system, right? You're trying to collect so many carrots usually to get raises and things like that. So standby classes usually come with maybe 1 or maybe 0.75 more carrots depending on the time of day that you're grabbing these standby classes. So that's another incentive to grab the classes. You get the $2 extra pay, and you usually get some additional carrots to go along with them as well. So, but you only get the additional carrots if you nab a class. And you only get the $2 extra pay if you nab a class. If you don't, then if you don't nab a class, but you're just on standby waiting around for your time, you'll just get that $5, like I said. But I really like them. I think that they're a good way to fill your schedule. Like if you're not as high of a rank, because you're not guaranteed those bookings, and I think they're fun. So if you have any other questions about standbys, if there's something I missed, feel free to put them in the comments down there, or to send me an email directly, or you can always hit me up on social media. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.